They had a rough series in Miami. Let's talk to the skip, and he says hello. Torey, thank you. Always a pleasure to have a nice conversation. How you doing today, okay?
I'm doing good, Mad Dog. How about you?
Doing well. It's appreciate you having you on here, and I bet you like to flush those 3 games out the window. A rough stretch there in Miami. They can pitch. They hit pretty well, but, you know, that's the nature of a long season, the ups and downs. Let's flush this one away here in Miami against the Marlins. Start there. Go ahead. Let me hear.
Yeah, it's exactly what we're thinking. We know that there are some ups and downs during the course of the baseball season, and we talk about how we're going to deal with those tough times, and we budget for it. We're prepared for it, and we know the baseball season can be a grind. So we're in a little bit of a grind right now. We had a tough stretch to start the season where several of our in the first month, several of our games were on the road, but we managed to fight through that. And we got that bend, don't break mentality. We're going to be adaptable. And it's about getting refocused today. You know, in New York, playing a tough team here, but our guys will be ready. I'm proud of what they've done so far. They've been very resilient, and we'll see where that goes today.
And a lot of injuries, too. You know, you haven't had Marte. I mean, Calhoun out. I mean, you've had a lot of guys banged up. The Gallen didn't start the year with you, so you've had some injuries. You'd rather have them now than in August. Give me some thoughts on that, Torey. What can you tell me?
Yeah, you know, every team's going through it. We're not the only ones that are having these sorts of moments, and we know for a fact that we're going to get better because we're going to get the opportunity to watch younger players perform. Those understudies go out there and do their job to the best of their ability. And when we layer back in those starters, such as Marte and Calhoun, we're going to be that much better. And, you know, the frustrating part of it is having to deal with those injuries. You know, Zach Gallen coming up with a broken arm. You're right. We've had a number of guys go down, but we've had a number of guys step up. And it's really that next guy in line mentality. The way that we get after it day by day, it shouldn't matter who's in the lineup. We're going to get 100% of what they got on that day with really good players, and it's taken us to a pretty good spot.
And thank goodness you got a good bounce back here out of Bumgarner. Obviously, the great start in Atlanta. He's pitching well again last night. Yeah, I know he got a little worried about that hit pitch deal, but he seems to be okay, and he's had 4 good starts in a row. He got Mad Bum back on track. That's a big factor here going down the stretch or going through the season in 21 there. Torey, thoughts with him? Let me hear.
Yeah, you know, we felt like it was a matter of time before he figured out how to get after it, get back into that rhythm and that routine that he's been so used to. Look, he's used to going out for 7 innings and putting up 1, maybe 2 scratch runs. And that's what we're seeing. It's about execution of pitches. It's about slowing some things down and doing it, you know, inning by inning, and not worrying about the overall results. And the stuff's real good. The stuff's coming out real hot. The data's telling us that he's right where he should be, and it's translating. And, you know, he's got the ability to carry a whole staff, and we've got guys behind him that are ready to take those next steps. So we feel like we're in a really good spot on the mound, and Bum deserves all this credit. He was grinding, and we know that. And, you know, he got to the point where he was sharing some of those frustrations. We were able to get in there and dig in with him the best that we could. And now that you see these positive results, we're very proud of that.
You know, weird schedule, too, right? I mean, a lot of the Nationals, the Reds, the Atlanta, now Miami and the Mets. And you haven't seen the Dodgers or Giants yet. That's very odd here, these first 30 games. Torey, let me get your thoughts there. Go ahead.
Yeah, you're hitting on some key points. We came out east, and we're taking care of a lot of this East Coast swing, and it is odd. Normally, we've played everybody within our division, and we're looking forward to that. We know what the Dodgers and the Giants are doing at the top of the division, and they deserve all that credit. And we want to see how we stack up and compare against them. So we'll take care of our business here in New York. We'll get back home. We know we're going to start to rotate into a little bit more of the NL East with some of those teams you're talking about. But it's really about taking care of today, going 1-0 today, and getting off this little dark streak that we're on, and we'll take care of the business best way we know how.
Give me a little rundown on the health protocols for your ball club, Torey. Where do you stand? Has it been a little easier? You've been on the road a lot. Has there been a little more togetherness on the road? Can you hang out a little bit? Give me a little sense on where the D-backs are with the health protocols. Are you at the 85% vaccination rate? Give me a little rundown there. What can you tell me?
Yeah, unfortunately, we're not at that 85%, and you know, we're trying hard to get there. I know a lot of our guys, you know, have made that choice, and you know, for one reason or another, we're creeping closer and closer day by day. You know, as far as the protocols, I think they're very stiff, they're very rigid, and we know exactly what they are. We can't come off of any of these rules that have been established to keep us safe, and that's the bottom line. So at times they seem a little odd and a little bit quirky, but we know the main reason why. That's to keep us on the baseball field and keep us healthy and keep us playing baseball games. So the guys have adapted to that. Unfortunately, there isn't a lot of camaraderie when we're at the hotels. We have to stay fairly isolated when we get back to the hotels, but they do what they can. They do what they can in the small pockets that we're allowed to for those that are vaccinated. But camaraderie is a big thing on this team. We got a very good vibe going with this group. They're together a lot. They believe in one another, and you can see that's where it's led us to a very good spot right now in the season.
And I tell you the one thing, now I'm seeing it from a New York perspective. I'm not sure necessarily around the country, but I do think there's a little more ambiance in these ballparks. I mean, the Yankees and the Astros, the crowd was a big factor these last 3 days. I know that's a special set of circumstances, but have you noticed more ambiance in the buildings? Has it been a little easier here to conduct business, thinking it's a little bit more normal with fans? What can you tell me about that, Torey? What do you have for me on that particular point? Go ahead.
Yeah, for sure. 100% agree with you on that, Mad Dog. There's fans in the stands. You get the reaction, you get the response, and we've been conditioned for that for our whole lives. We've been in front of people performing at a very high level, and their applause and their reaction and their support matters. Trust me, it does, and our guys feel it. So we know that there are more fans that want to come out. It's very sparse when we get into Arizona, but we don't really care. The fact that we're playing in front of our fans in Arizona and visiting fans as well, we really enjoy that. It's part of the game. The fan experience has been tremendous. We've missed them. Baseball's missed them, and we've all welcomed them back the best way we know how.
Last thing, and I just thought of it, the Grom will go on Sunday, and, you don't want to be in a situation where, you need to get a game and you got him going. So does Torey Lovullo manage these next two games a little bit more aggressively, a little bit more with a sense of urgency, knowing that he goes on Sunday for the Mets? I know that's a weird one. Let me get your thoughts on that. Go ahead.
Yeah, look, you're inside of our clubhouse. You know exactly what we're talking about. They got the best pitcher in baseball, one of the best pitchers in baseball. He's a stopper. You got to find a way to beat him, and you got to take care of the business the best way you know how. But we haven't gotten there. I think what my focus is going to be today, and the message I'll send to the guys today is, we've lost 3 games in a row. We can't look that far down the road. We know he's there. We know he's lurking. And when we get to that bridge, we're going to cross it. But we respect who's going to be thrown against us tonight. We can't overlook him. He's going to do his job, and we got to go out there and counterpunch him and attack him the best way we can.
That's a nice job on your part coming on, off of a flight and 3 losses. We always appreciate it. Keep in touch, Torey. Thanks very much here today.